You've waited all week for it, and now it's time to wind down and chill with Grit Daily.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to our Wind Down and Chill weekly podcast. I know some of you may have missed out last week. Well, I was busy celebrating the 4th holiday, so I didn't get to it. But here we are a week later, and what's today's theme? Well, it's Patriots Day. And we're going to do things a little bit differently this week. Instead of being the typical wine that we offer, we're going to talk about bourbon. And you're probably thinking, bourbon? WTF? This is a Wind Down and Chill column, and you'd be correct. But it's important because bourbon's now made not only all over the USA and all over the world, but it's made even right here in Jersey. This is kind of interesting. It hasn't been made in Jersey since the era of Prohibition almost 100 years ago. There's a group of folks called Jersey Spirits, and they've got a wide collection of different small batch spirits that they make, including their Patriots Trail Bourbon. And here's a couple of tidbits that you may or may not have known. In order to be classified as an American bourbon, well, okay, Captain Obvious, of course, first it has to be made in the USA. Duh, that one's pretty easy. But some of the things you may not be aware of is that the mash must be all grain, where at least 51% of that mash is corn, has to be distilled between 120 to 160 proof, but bottled at 80 proof or higher, must be free of additives, and aged in American oak barrels below 125 proof. Who knew? Here's the part where I like to get excited. Many of those bourbon-aged barrels are then used to age red wines. That's what I like. Now, how do I consume my bourbon? Well, a lot of people take it neat. I don't. I like to put it into lemonade in the style of Lynchburg lemonade. So I take freshly squeezed lemons, a little bit of water, and some sparkling bubbly water to make it a little bit interesting and put that together. It's also kind of a nice twist on sangrias, particularly red wine sangrias for a change, where that little kick of bourbon adds kind of a nice punch to it. As far as music goes, well, there would be no patriotic celebration without the bosses, born in the USA, but there's awesome songs and playlists and marches that you can find out there if you just Google it. As far as dinner option, well, what says more American than a burger bar? But let's make it interesting. I know we can't have a lot of guests over these days, but if you socially distance your chairs and your tables, you can have a few people in your backyard, and you gotta wear masks when you're, a little bit too close together and all that sort of good stuff, but it's possible. So for a burger bar, think about the obvious things. You can have turkey, salmon, Angus beef burgers, veggie burgers, plant-based burgers, fish burgers, whatever you want to just kind of mix it up and allow your guests to have a little fun with it. But here's where it gets interesting. Yes, you need all the traditional sort of condiments and, the usual suspects, but make it fun. Do stuff that represents the fabric that is America and all the different wonderful cultures that are here. Think about adding things like dried fried onions, pickled jalapeno peppers, aioli, kosher dill pickles, German potato salad and coleslaw, collard greens, sweet potato fries, kimchi, wasabi, grilled cayenne pepper mango slices, corn chips, or just about anything else, and have some fun with it. Well, each week, in addition to suggesting music, suggesting a wine, and suggesting food, we also make a suggestion for movies. This week, the number 3 movie streaming on Netflix right now is Patriots Day, and it's kind of a who's who cast. Mark Wahlberg, Tommy Saunders, John Goodman, and of course Kevin Bacon, because he's pretty much in every movie that was ever made. The movie subject itself is a little bit difficult with respect to its topic. It's about the Boston Marathon bombing. I personally thought it was a little too real and had some trouble with it, so I couldn't get through the movie. But everybody else in America seems to like it, given how it's streaming and staying right up there between number 2 and number 3 for the last week or so. Well, that's about it. So we're going to wrap up with a wind down and chill message of just wishing you a wonderful weekend. Take some time to yourself, take some time to self-care, and as always, if you drink, don't drive.
Follow us at Grit Daily on social media and listen to all of our podcasts, including Like a Boss on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, or your favorite platform. For special guest submissions, email Loralyn at gritdaily.com.